Well, good morning guys. It's a beautiful day today. I wanted to bring you a video here. Got my Tesla car and I do a lot of car charging, and a company, EVgoer, reached out to me and asked if I'd take a look at their charger. And didn't know a reason why not to. So they sent this to me. Gonna open this up and check it out here. So they ship it inside this box, and this car charger comes inside this case. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out and I'll show you what's inside. So it just unzipped it and comes in a nice case. Here, let me back up. So we've got I don't know what kind of material that is, but that's pretty nice. We've got the instruction manual here, probably go through it, and we've got a 50 amp 240 volt to 20 amp cord, and we've got the connector here, go to the car. And so I've got a I think this is a J17 72, I believe it is. I'll put the right name on the top, but I've got to get that connector on there for my car. And I think there's like 30 feet of cord. I'll go through this manual here real quick. So going through this manual, what you get in the box is the charger, and then I believe it's like 30 feet of cord, and then you get the socket here, and then you of course get the case, the display unit on it. So I've got the Tesla one over here, and of course there's like no display on it. Here's the connector. Grab one of these. But the connector is kind of cool. You can do a lot of programming on it. So on this screen right here, so this 11 is the unit's temperature. This right here is just the big display. This is the mode. So I think you can put it in delay charging and charging. Number 12, so this is the charging time, how much time it's been. This is the voltage, so it's auto sense. And then 15 is the actual current output, and 18 is your set current output. So you can set the different current coming out. And then 16 is the instantaneous power, and 17 is the consumed. So this is what it's actually putting out in kilowatts, and this is the combined total. So based on your configuration, you always have to go like, I think it's 20 or 25% above the current for a car charger, according to NEMA. And so if you do a 16 amp and you have a 20 amp breaker, you can get approximately 12 miles per hour. 30 amp, so it'd be 24 amp pole, you need a 30 amp breaker, you get 18. And if you get the 40, so there's a different model, you can get up to 30 miles an hour at home, which is pretty nice. So we'll get this plugged in, but the like I said, the screen, when you turn it on, you can select the amount of amps, and then it auto detects the current, and then it will ramp up to there, but it'll show you whether to connect it and whether it's charging the amps, the set amps, the current wattage, and the total wattage. You also, so this is setting the current. So for 120 volt, you can do 12 and 16. And for 240, you can do 12, 16, 24, and 32. And the different models, so there's a 32 and a 40. And so on the 40, you can do 12, 16, 24, 32, and 40 amps. But you need the 60 amp breaker for that, 50 amp breaker for that, I'm sorry. And then you can do time charging, or go ahead and do a delayed charging is what they call it. and then there's just some different airs and modes and things like that. But yeah, there we go. So cable length is 30 feet. It'll do 120 or 240. There's a 32 amp and a 40 amp model. Yeah, there it is, the J1772. And so I've got the connector to the, what do they call that, North American Charging Standard, or the Tesla charger, which is what everybody's going to be going to. It's only 15 pounds. So that's kind of it. Nice looking unit, really. Gosh, it's a beautiful day out today. So I'm going to, I've got this right here is from my bus. I have another channel called Camp Prevo, and that's a 50 amp, 240 volt extension cord. That is a heavy duty cord. It's not a chintzy extension cord. That's what it's made for. So what I'm going to do is get this over here. I'm going to get it plugged in, and then I'll plug it into the car and see if we can get her to work. All right, so all I did was plug that in, and we've got the unit. It says 240 volts, which is good. I'm getting a phone call. Hold on a minute. Alrighty, so here we go. So this is plugged in, and so to get this in the Tesla, you just have to press this, and then insert that, and it says charging. So see what it says in here. So it says 40 amp. So that's a big charger. So that's cool. So it works well. So I don't think I have it on. If I open this door, will that stay on? That's what I thought. Let me turn this down. So charging, close. All right, false alarm. I ended up hearing a bunch of beeping, and it was my garage door. So yeah, so this guy works real well. Getting some charging here, and see what this says. So 62 degrees. It's set at 40 amps and pulling 38, 39, because I've got the car set to 38. So you can see 234 volts. It's been running for 2 minutes. It's charging at 9 kilowatt, 0.2 total. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. I like it. I like the 30 amp or the 30 foot cord. And this is a heavy duty dude too. I guess, I don't know what the difference is, but if you can see this, I've got a Gen 3 charger that I installed, and cord's not quite as big on that one. Yeah, it's a nice charger. So I appreciate them reaching out. Gonna go ahead and let that charge. Just hooked right up and hooked into the car. I think what I want to try to do is figure out maintenance mode here real quick, and we'll see if we can show a whole bunch of information. All right, so what we're going to do is go to service mode. So you go to here, you go to software, you press in and hold here, and then you put service, you hit OK, and up pops the screen. So you can go to high voltage, charging system, and we got 237 volt, 34 amp, single phase, so it likes everything. Hit this again, high voltage system, so no errors, 64.5%. I want to do the health test at some point. Shows the batteries. I think this is the low voltage battery. Yeah, so it's a 78% state of charge on the little one. So I think it's charging it, but I guess all that to say, I don't know, the exit service mode. So there we go. So all that to say, that charger is working good. Go to charging. So this almost shows about as much information, but I think that's working good. So yeah, so this is the EV Goer, and this is the 40 amp module. So it's a pretty nice charger. So this is the EV40-01. Put some links in the description of where you could get one. But yeah, I think it's real nice. And then they also, I think I said, they give you the connector here so that you can connect down to the 20 amp. Everything's in these nice covers. But yeah, everything's nice. You can take it out of here, but kind of don't want to scratch it up. It's kind of nice. I'll take it out of the box. But yeah, I think it's going to work real well. So one thing would be interesting to do, what I'm going to do here. So I've got the car set to 34 amps. That's why it's only doing 34 of the 40. Is I'm going to unplug this and plug this into my 120 volt and see if I can select the amps on there and see what it does. I guess I can show you everything. So I think on this, you hit this and it unlocks it. Well, there we go. User error. And so what we'll do is I'm gonna unplug this, plug this into here, and then I'm gonna plug that into my 20 amp outlet. All right, so I've got that plugged into the 20 amp outlet up there, kind of hanging, and that's weird. So I think it's the LCD. See if I can, it doesn't look like that in real life. Hold on a second. Must be because of my 30 frames a second. Anyway, this is 75 degrees, 120 volts, 16 amps. And so what I want to do is you can set this 12 and 16. So now I have it at 12, and I want to plug this in and see what it does. Huh, that's crazy. So I'm assuming it looks like flashing. That's what it looks like through here, but it says 12 amps over here. It ran up to 11. It's given me 1.3 kilowatts at 17 volts. And so what I want to do is look in the car. This screen tells me more information here. So it says 9 hours and 45 minutes, 11 amps, 117 volts, 1000 watts. So that'd be about right, I guess. So 9 hours and 45 minutes. And so I can bump that up. That's on its lowest setting. I just always wondered how that would work. So it works real good. You can dial that down. So I wonder if you can bump it up while it's charging. Nope. So it's kind of locked in, which is fine. So it's charging at 1300 watt hours at 11 amps. So pretty cool. Never done it off of 120 before. That's why I've got 240, but gives you quite a bit more pull and power, I guess you could say. Yeah, 9 hours and 45 minutes. What would be interesting is if I bump that up, what's that bump it down to? So I'm gonna try that real quick. So I just selected 16 amps. We'll open this up, plug it in, and it went up to 15. Hopefully it doesn't hit pop my breaker. So 7 hours versus the, what was that, 9 hours before? So it's significantly quicker. I mean, 7 hours, but it's 66%. I'm going to 80, so it's charging 14%. So 7.5 hours. Pulled that down to 116 volts. It is charging at 2,000 watts. So it's almost double. So it'd be interesting to see what this says. You probably can't see it. It's 1.7 kilowatts, so that's rounding up in there. So it's pulling 15 out of 16 amps there at 115 volts. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off, and we'll drop it to hit it on 240. So right now, if you had 120 amp or a 20 amp, it's 7.5 hours. We'll see what we can drop that down to on 240. All right, so I'm back into my 240. So this is actually a 50 amp cord, and I have a 40 amp breaker in the panel. So I can pull the 40 amps, but that breaker might trip. But at any rate, this one, that one's not flickering like the other one. So I've got it at 12. So if we were to plug this in now, let's see what that jumps it to. Hopefully I don't ruin my car. So it shows 240 volts. The says 11 amps in there. It's probably like 11.2 or whatever. So drops this down to 4 hours and 50 minutes. And it says we're charging at 3,000 watt hours. And so 4 hours and 40 minutes. And this is charging at 2.7 at 12 amp. So I'm gonna see what the next one says. So that's 4 hours and 50 minutes. Go ahead and turn that off, pull this out, and I'll see if I can reset that. So now we're at 16, 24, 32, and 40. So if we go, let's say you had 32 amp, we'll set this in here. I don't think that would do it. So we're at 32 amp. And so it's 243 volts, 32 amps, drops it down to an hour and a half. That's significant. From what were we on the 120? So let's let that ramp up. We're at 18, 19, 20. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. 32. So it says an hour and 40 minutes. And so we've got one more setting. We can go to 40 amps. So that's 8,000 watts. 8,000 kilowatts right there. An hour and 40 minutes. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 40 and see what it says. So we have 8,000 watt hours, 32 amps, 1 hour and 40 minutes. All right, so like I said, we're an hour and 40 minutes. Let's bump that up to 40 and see what it drops down to. So turn that off. User error here. There we go. And we'll bump this up to 40. You just press in and hold it. So now I'm at 40. So this is the max it'll do. And I think I've actually, okay, the car is set to 40. And so, I think over the long haul, it would be a lot more. So that's 39 amps. It's starting to go down there. See it pop, click up here. Might trip my breaker downstairs. It's only a 40, but it's 4-gauge line. Oh, I've got the car set at 35, damn it. I think I can change that. Let's get it to go to 40. This might trip it. Hopefully I can get my screen. So that bumped it down to 1 hour and 20 minutes. So pretty significant, especially if you've got a bigger battery. But yeah, I think it's a success. That charger, put a link to it. I'll throw up on the screen kind of what it is, pricing, but got it quick. It's a nice charger. I like how everything comes in the case, so you can throw that in your car, throw that anywhere, and then you can charge not only Tesla, but a car with a standard plug. So it works real well. So I hope that helped anybody. If you guys were considering that, it does work. Works with my Tesla. And yeah, hope you found this video useful. Hit like and subscribe. I'll have some more videos coming out. And we'll catch you on the next one. What I'm wanting to do, and I don't know if I want to use this one or the Tesla one, is I want to hook it up to my inverter and see how many miles I can get out of a one of these batteries. I think that'd be pretty cool. So like I said, hit like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.